Hey guys, and welcome to this week's episode of what? I wanted to say New Whoscussion? No.
That is what it is at the moment.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah. New Whoscussion, yay! My favourite era of the show. Said opposite land me. So we're your hosts from Whānau, That Random Guy, and the audibly pleasing Harriet Scaling.
Yeah, I'm here.
Right, okay. And joining us is the Late Crow. Late Crow, say hello to the YouTube land and tell us a bit about what you do here.
Hello, YouTube land. So I make short films and various doodads that I put on my YouTube channel on my journey to become a better writer and filmmaker. And recently I've just dropped a couple of bits and pieces there as well. So there's that.
Oh yeah, guys, the secret meeting. I'm going to link that as today's top comment because it is actually fantastic. So this week we're going to be doing the Sontaran stratagem, the poison late sky, the poison sky, and the Doctor's daughter. For part B, we're going to be covering more Doctor and Donna episodes with Technophobia, Time Reaver, actually good ones that were actually better than what we actually watched, and Death and the Queen. So the Sontaran stratagem. Harriet, can you take us away?
Okay, it's bad. On to the next one.
Oh, cool. All right, so guys, catch us next week.
It is so bad. Okay, so we get this silly thing because people don't know how to write properly.
Yeah, those people being Helen Raynor.
Yeah, where they do the cold open of just bullshit happening, where it looks like this woman is being like dragged out of a prison.
Oh, I'm so angry with that because she is actually a fantastic actress. If you guys have seen Humans, and she was in this for like 10 seconds. It's so annoying.
Yeah. But yeah, she's getting dragged out. She seems to be a reporter, and there's this really short kid. I don't know. He's just abnormally short for some reason. I don't know why they decided to get him in for this. I guess it's just to give the like Napoleon thing. But anyway,
I'm short.
No, but he's ungodly short compared to everybody else. Like so everybody
and he's
else,
in the middle too,
like,
so he's framed. Yeah, it's so bad.
He's framed like he's just like he's actually really really short. Like he's like supposed to be even younger than he's supposed to be. Like that's the sort of thing that they're going for. And then the fact that he's so angsty about it, it's almost basically like they're trying to make him seem like he's just a teen, right? That's the idea. But the thing is that the actor is not a teen. He's got like the chiseled jaw line and everything. He is an adult, but they're framing it as much as possible so that he looks like a tiny kid, and it's really off-putting. But anyway, so this reporter being dragged out, and she's talking about how something's bad and everything's bad, and it's another cold open from Helen Raynor.
She's so good at them.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. She gets in her car and drives away, and then spooky music and cue bad evil background things, just Helen Raynor. Anyway, and then the GPS system takes control of her car and puts her in the Thames. I'll get to that in a second, but we'll just continue with the story. And then continuing until the actual opening theme, we're back in the TARDIS with Doctor and Donna, and we get a phone call from Martha saying she's bringing him back to Earth, and it is not very acted well on Martha's part.
Oh, dude, Freema Agyeman's awful in all 3 of these episodes.
Yeah, I don't know why, because she's a good actress.
Yeah,
it seems like she just really didn't want to be there. For any of this, I mean, her acting was all right in The Doctor's Daughter, but this episode in particular.
Oh yeah, no, she got I think maybe the director for this two-parter.
I just not directed properly.
Yeah,
they don't direct anyone properly really throughout this whole thing. But anyway, so he goes back to Earth. He manages to pilot the TARDIS correctly this time. Hey, anyway, he's back on Earth. Trying to get back to London, 1965. Anyway, he's there, and they're investigating this manufacturing plant for Atmos. Unit shows up in all their glory, except none of
why didn't he redo the theme? The Unit theme is so shit, and they've just kept it.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. I don't even want to continue. Anyway, so we get explained as to what Atmos is. For some reason, Donna knows what it is as well, which doesn't really make any sense.
But it was on the taxi in Partners in Crime.
It was, but the thing is that so here's the thing about it. The Atmos system is all created from the Sontarans, right? We spoilers, by the way.
Spoilers of the Sontaran stratagem. Well done, Helen Raynor.
Christ. Anyway, it's all done by the Sontarans. They have been sitting with a battleship outside of the planet Earth, right? For this entire time, monitoring the progress. I don't I don't think that that the fat race would have shown up if the Sontarans were nearby. I don't think that they would have gone anywhere near that.
Exactly, right?
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't think that that's right. I don't feel like that it'd become a big deal at this point, and I don't feel like Donna should have known anything about it. Also, I don't know why she would as well, because she was using her mother's car. Like, her mother's car didn't have it on it either, so why would she care? Like,
it does
she's
now.
not a big,
It does now, kiddo.
Anyway. So they do all the casual unit stuff. Well, it's not really casual unit stuff.
It's not even unit.
It's not even really unit. Yeah. Soldiers and stuff come in and investigating the place, and the doctor they do the explaining at the audience about what Atmos is and what it does, even though it should have probably been built up a little bit better. Helen Raynor. Anyway,
I am the first human Dalek.
Yeah, I'm so done. Anyway, so we get introduced to a bunch of people, mainly Ross, who ends up being the doctor's Benton replacement.
Just get Benton, please.
Just get Benton really should have been in this, but anyway, just so many people should have been in this episode. Anyway, we also get introduced to a couple of just a couple of soldier guys who are just investigating the place, who get themselves hypnotized by Sontarans.
Oh my god, I hate that part of the story so much.
After they get their legs zapped. Anyway, the doctor goes off to find the inventor of the Atmos system to try and figure this stuff out.
Atmos system? Are you doing that just to aggravate a fictional character?
Yes, I am. Because I'm sorry, it's not a real. It's just no. No. Why would it be called Atmos? That seems like a terrible name for something to be put in there. Anyway, point is, he goes off to find the inventor with Ross, puts Donna back down near her family so she can go hang out with them. When the doctor gets there, he aggravates the crap out of the genius kid, because the doctor is more smart than him, which you kind of.
It's 10 shtick
doesn't matter. It is a stick, but the thing is that the kid is. It's not necessary.
I agree.
Like this, he is not a necessary character in this, and the character development that he has in this is pointless. It's just he's just an unnecessarily aggravating character, because he's just a spoiled kid who is super smart, right? Like, he's just there to be annoying, and it's not doesn't add anything to the story.
No, it adds heaps. You don't know the layers, the Helen Raynor layers.
The Helen layers. Anyway.
Yes,
so,
7 layers of hell.
Layers of hell.
Yeah, that's what Dante was writing about.
Yeah, he's writing about Helen Raynor. Anyway, so the doctor finds a teleporter in his room, which he's just keeping around occasionally. And as much as the doctor's like, oh, it just looks like a thing, no one thinks about things. I'm like, no, they kind of stood out. Because it's a big cube.
Yeah, humans are actually naturally curious, so...
We are kind of naturally curious. I mean, in a room full of, modern art pieces, then maybe, yeah. If you were going to an art museum, you might be like, oh, it's just art. I'll just take it. But if it's just in someone's front room, where every other device, every other thing that's around seems to have some function, you look at the cube thing, and it's got a control panel on it, you'll be like, that looks like a device.
Yeah, it looks like I want to have fun playing with this thing.
Exactly. Yeah, so it's Helen Raynor. Anyway, he teleports himself, immediately finds out this is Sontarans, teleports back. Sontaran shows up through the teleporter after he Sonic's magic wands it, so it doesn't let him teleport any more people. And then he talks at him for a bit, talking about how cool the Sontarans used to be. And this little Sontaran takes off his helmet and he's like, I'm not actually a Sontaran anymore, so I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm a completely different species, just by the by.
Completely different species. We just kind of look a little bit the same, I guess. We have the same name, I guess. And then he goes, and the doctor runs away with Ross, and the Sontaran goes back up to a spaceship, and then the kid goes with him, and they're like, hey, can you kill the doctor guy? And the Sontaran's like, oh, you said you didn't say his name. And he's like, no, you just said doctor, that's not a name. And Sontaran's like, no, that
come on, kid, come on.
Anyway, that's the doctor. He's constantly thwarting us. They didn't let us into the Time War. What?
That's total and utter bullshit. Do you know Big Finish has fully retconned that? It's great.
Because that's utter garbage, considering the Sontarans literally invaded Gallifrey.
Yes, they did.
So later, when they capture the TARDIS, and they're like, the first Sontarans to capture a TARDIS. I guess we're not counting the time that they completely took over.
They're not going to get that time where the Doctor was like, hey, I'm going to brainwash you into remembering this illegal gun we've got.
Yeah. And then, I hate guns.
Yeah.
I hate guns. I'm gonna blast you with a gun that erases you from time. Anyway.
I hate them so much!
Yeah, I think that's pretty much the end of this episode.
Yeah.
Other than the Doctor does the paradox sentence on the GPS.
Oh, the second out of time bullshit. I hate that so much.
There's that one. That's the first thing. That's the later thing. The first thing I'm talking about is when he's like, you have to disobey every order that I give you, right? And it's like, yes. Why would it answer?
Yeah, isn't it to disobey? So like, what?
But anyway, and then it's like, yes, and he's like, okay, drive into the lake. And then for some reason it breaks its circuit somehow. What? Anyway,
yeah, and this was actually handled better in Classic Who when Zoe got that computer to blow up because she's ultra mega smart and gave it an equation. Exactly.
You can give something a paradoxical sentence to thing. But the thing is that it's not meant to be an AI in the system, right? It's just meant to be a GPS that has control. We'll get to that in a second. I just gotta finish this up. Anyway, somehow they get back to Donna's family, even though they don't have a car anymore. They
didn't have a car. How did they get back?
They walked really fast. And then Doctor's investigating the Amos that's in the car, and then says the stupid crap about it being a second out of sync with everybody. That doesn't work. Anyway, and then it has spikes come out of it, which don't make any sense whatsoever. They wouldn't hurt anybody. I don't know what the hell is going on here.
Why does it have spikes?
Helen Raynor. Anyway,
Helen Raynor.
Then he sets it off, so some gas comes out of it. And then Sontarans will freak out and are like, hey, just turn on all the gas everywhere. That's not going to cause a panic or nothing. And then Wilf decides to get in the car, even though he knows it's dangerous. He does immediately. He says, this is dangerous, I should get it off the street. But instead of...
Why does he walk into the car?
Why does he actually get physically in the car? Because no one does that when they want to just move a car, like, in that fashion.
Throw it into neutral, push it.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what you do. Especially when someone's, like, literally standing in the front of it. You want to try to turn it on. That's what he was going to do. He had the keys. Why was he going to do that?
It's because Helen wanted to finish her first half of her story with, like, some threat. And they're like, let's just put the old man in the car.
Yeah. What? But the thing is that the threat is supposed to be this gas that's going off everywhere, right? Why is that not enough, Helen Raynor? Why?
Helen Raynor.
That is the end of the Sontaran stratagem. Ready for the two-part, which is the Poisonous Guy.
All right, well, I need to just interject here and say I'm so sorry that we had to watch these episodes, but in my defense... Yeah, fuck yeah. But in my defense, I'm not the person who came up with the idea with the weekly Doctor Who podcast. So.
Yeah, I'm the fucking one who did.
So anyway, we'll talk about this as a whole when we finish the poison late crow. I mean the poisonous guy. The late crow, the poisonous guy, please. Yeah. Please.
Let's see how quickly we can get through this. Okay, so picking up where we left off, Wilf is in the car.
Yeah.
And everyone's having a bit of a panic attack about it. And Sylvia comes out and she's having a bit of a understandable panic about it, and things are going bad, and they get him. Hold on, mate.
Okay, so I need to interject here real quick. She smashes the windscreen and completely shatters it. That's not how a windscreen works.
That's not how it breaks.
Yeah, because designed to not shatter.
Yeah, exactly.
Because otherwise you get glass in your eyes.
Otherwise you're dead. All right. What they should have done was smash the passenger side window,
which is designed to shatter like that,
and then unlock it. But no, they shatter it. That's not how windscreens work. And it's clearly sugar glass. That's the worst part. When you can see it's sugar glass, don't do that, guys.
Yeah. Admittedly, she should have had like Sylvia should just have a fantastic theme tune. Yeah. Honestly, and I think she should have consistently shown up to save the day all the time with just the simplest things.
Yeah.
Because I was screaming at the top of my lungs when I finished the Sontaran stratagem. Just break the glass. You don't even need that much force to do it on a window.
He has a sonic disrupting device.
Exactly. It's just glass. It doesn't matter how much you deadlock the vehicle. It's
fuck, I hate deadlock so much. Don't bring back the sonic screwdriver if you can't write it out of a story.
You know what I love about Deadlock Seal? I TARDIS wikied it, and the only mention that it ever has in New Who is in the shitty episodes. All the good episodes don't even touch Deadlock Seal stuff.
I don't know what I need to do. It's deadlocked. Shut up! Just shut the fuck up.
Stupid thing to go, oh, we've written ourselves into a little corner. How are we going to make our character not be able to do anything about it? Deadlock Seal. There we go. Done.
But even then, he's got an elbow and he's wearing a long coat. You know,
Yeah.
like just that's it. You see it in movies all the time. Like,
I know.
anyway,
It's
you
dumb.
can continue now. We need to get this.
Yeah, sorry. It's just
Yeah.
I hate that scene so much.
Yep. And while we're talking, why didn't no other characters do that as well? I mean, there are other times when people are trapped in cars as well. Like the lady at the opening.
Yeah.
Hold open.
Oh no, I'm gonna try the door. Just punch the window and jump out. Who cares if you get a couple of cuts? Just go. Leave.
Yep.
You
Although,
idiot.
What it really comes down to it is the other deaths they talk about in the beginning of the Sontaran stratagem was a poisonous gas, right?
Yeah.
They were poisoned by something they couldn't find out. So why was she the only one that drowned? Why was she the only one that was put in a lake? Why?
You
They all
could
died at the
argue
same time. Even this drowning person? Yes.
Perhaps they wanted to get rid of the files that she had with her in the car. For some
What do
reason.
Yeah, I want
do
to tell you
that?
about digital forensics. Water don't matter, son.
Yeah, what it does not
Yeah.
matter.
Yeah, but there's Helen Rayner. You expect us to know that?
No, Helen Reynolds doesn't do any research.
Also, immediately, they would still investigate Atmos. You know,
Yeah.
that was what she was investigating. She had already did the phone call. Drowning her was not going to solve that issue for them.
yeah.
It creates
Poisonous
dramatic
gas should have been
tension, though.
No, it didn't.
No, it doesn't, because she's not. We don't know who she is. You can't create it about a character you don't know. That's not how tension works. I need to care about random Asian reporter lady more before I'm like, oh no, she's gonna die. Don't kill someone I don't care about in a cold open.
Yep. Anyway, whatever. So they go back to the unit place, and the doctor gives Donna a key so she can go on the TARDIS and kind of not choke to death. So that's cool. She goes and does that. And oh yeah, you forgot to cover last story that Martha got cloned.
Who cares? I don't care. Is that even important to the plot? She doesn't
No.
do. She's completely ineffectual in this entire story. Yay!
she
We
starts
were
the
completely
next one right
ineffectual.
after
Oh, does she? The doctor would have done that.
Yeah, he would have.
So
He was just there for no reason at all, really. It's kind of sad, actually. It's kind
whatever.
of like what happened with Torchwood, where she just shows up and is there for a couple of episodes.
Anyway, so the doctor tries to call Martha, tell her to inform Unit about Sontarans, because obviously Unit knows all about Sontarans. Or
When did they meet them?
apparently,
Well, the Doctor was there.
Yeah,
Well,
he
was
went.
with
He
Unit.
went back in time almost 1,000 years and met the Sontarans.
Yeah,
Anybody,
but
did
he
anybody
was-
actually watch the Time Monster?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Like only a couple of months ago. Anyway, they obviously didn't watch it when they were writing this episode. But what I'm saying is that like he was with Unit when he went and did this, so he would have done a report on it, right? Or at least Sarah Jane would have.
Oh yeah, there we go. Sarah Jane. There we go. She did it.
cool.
Good Sarah
And
Jane.
obviously, because Martha's the dumb, not Martha. Basically, clone Martha is as good as Freema's acting in this. We'll put it that way.
Oh my god, it's so bad.
Freema, you're great, but not in the story at all.
That's not your fault. That's not. So sorry.
So she keeps it to herself, and she has those two guards. with her
Okay,
for some
we
reason.
need to just talk about that. Why were these guys brainwashed and she was fully cloned? What a waste of resources.
I know.
What?
Yeah, there was no. It's so peculiar. I really wanted to save this till last, but I guess I'm just gonna do it right now.
While we're here.
So yeah, while we're in this point, so the Sontarans in general, when they show, when we've had episodes with them before, other than the Gallifrey episode, the main threat behind the Sontarans is if they show up with a battle fleet, with any ship whatsoever, humans are screwed, right? F to the K to the D, right?
Yeah.
Proper mega screwed if any level of actual invasion happens, because they are an extremely devastating race. They're pretty technologically advanced, and they can clone instantaneously, well, not necessarily instantaneously, but pretty well, and just show up and devastate the planet. And that's why every time it's only ever been like 1 or 2 or 3 Daleks. Oh, sorry, Sontarans. Helen Rayner is getting on the brain. They're only ever really in this scenario a threat in the sense that if they call the rest of the Sontarans, then everyone's dead, right? That's the point of them. This episode, they're just there. There's a big ship there, right? Why? they're meant to be actually threatening, and they are actually threatening in their normal state. So this whole thing about them just being in the sky and just doing stuff, it doesn't make any sense.
Also, how did our radars not pick them up?
Exactly. The doctor even explains this. You know, he's like, "What? Why are you being cowards and stuff? It's really not like you at all." and instead of them being like, "Yeah, because we're not Sontarans," they just try to get around it with some other crap about them like having to make a cloning planet. I'm sorry, but in the next episode, we literally clone people by sticking our arm in a goddamn socket. So no, That's not how it works.
Yeah. Also, they had that cloning vat in their Atmos facility. They didn't change the atmosphere. So...
No, they didn't. Well, it is a human clone, I guess, but even then, if the clones are meant to like feed on this material in the air, then why isn't it viscous like that clone in the thing? Like, why is it gas? What?
That's how you eat. You eat through your nose, man. Didn't you know? Haven't you ever like eaten a steak meal through your nose?
Yeah. So the whole technological part of this, anything like sciencey about it, is just gone. There's no part of this that is sci-fi at all, because anything that you could call technologic is incorrect, completely incorrect. Even the Valiant is incorrect when it shows up and clears the gas around. No, that's not how gases work. If it's converting the atmosphere into this, blowing other stuff away, we'll just fill it back in with the same shit.
Yeah, exactly.
What are you doing?
It would try and fill the space. It's like, what?
Yeah.
You know, it's like
my big deal
fans
is Sontarans in this are not Sontarans, because otherwise they would have just gone down, killed everybody, and that would have been it. You know? That could have been a nice story on its own merit. The Doctor actually literally had to fight an army, because he's never actually done that before, other than that time that he erased them from time. But all the other technology stuff, as I said, just complete garbage. The whole she got an SD card out of a computer and put it in her phone, and that's how she was able to turn off the entire nuclear thing. Why?
Why was North Korea
nukes?
Yeah,
why do they have control of North Korea's nukes?
North Korea runs on the internet. What?
Yeah. And at this point in time, they had never tested a proper nuclear missile.
Why?
They would not have been able to hit something in space. They
not only that, they're not part of the United Nations.
Exactly.
What the fuck is going on? I think they meant South.
The South doesn't have any nukes either.
No, I know, but like it would have made more sense for the South.
Yeah.
Who are United Nations members?
Yeah. Either that or in the Whoniverse, they've already conquered North Korea.
Yes, there we go. Done.
So, the whole thing is baloney. You know, proper bologna.
All right, let's finish the synopsis and then we can move on.
Yeah, please.
All right. So, the TARDIS gets teleported up to the Sontaran ship with Donna on it. That's a whole pile of fun. The Doctor has a video call with the Sontaran leader, who cared what his name is. That goes on. They have a conflab. And they have more conflabs with the Colonel, whatever his face is. I don't even care what his face is.
Not the Brigadier Benton, I think is his name. It's really long. It's German.
Is that what it is? Cool. Then, and there's that thing going on to, about the nuclear weapons, which is also dumb. And then the Sontarans just come in, and they should be absolutely decimating everyone. And they decimate a bunch of people, but not to the extent they should be. They're just, as Harriet's going to say, they're just there now. When did they become bulletproof?
They're not bulletproof.
But they are now? Question mark? When did they get that?
So what they had was another crap non-science thing.
Oh my god.
Helen Raynor says that they had a thing that expands the copper casings in the bullets. Bullet casings are made out of brass, not copper.
Boom.
And in most military circumstances, they probably would have been made out of aluminum or steel, which is later on.
Wait, did you mean aluminium?
Whatever. One of those. I'm just so done anyway. It doesn't matter really, does it? It's just definitely not copper, basically.
Yeah.
And later he does say, "Oh, we've got these steel bullets now," but it's like, no.
What?
No.
Just shut up. It's just like I hate it so much,
and then the Valiant has a laser on it.
Oh
right?
my
a big
god!
Laser,
yeah,
and then it just doesn't do anything. It just makes a big like fake explosion on the top of the building. Why don't they have laser guns then?
Yeah.
Why don't they have laser guns then?
Yeah.
Why not just have laser guns?
Why does it make the window smash and then fall over when it was a giant green laser?
Yeah.
Remember when the laser shot at the Death Star and it blew lots of wind at Alderaan? I remember that. Yeah, Alderaan was a new windy city.
Yeah. It was blown away.
That's so good. It's been
the cries of a million people, and then they were just blown away.
Right. So unit troops are being slaughtered, and Doctor's all like, you can't win against Sontarans, and the Colonel, not Benton or Brigadier, is all like, I'm going to keep fighting. The Doctor's like, well, you're clinically retarded, moving on. And so we go over to the dumb genius kid, who's not really a kid, and he's all trying to convey to the students, yo, I've been working with these aliens and we're all going to go up and have our own planet. And they're like, yeah, nah, mate, I'm out of here. And he has a cry about it.
He's like, man, curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal.
Yeah, I know, eh? What a loser. What a loser.
Actually is.
Oh, please.
And so, yep. But so he goes back up to some Sontarans and goes, yeah, turns out my student didn't want to come, and the Sontarans just laugh in his face.
It's like, oh shit, they didn't want to, you idiot.
And then he teleports back down to his mansion and has a full-on meltdown cry about it. So that's cool.
He actually has a full-on tantrum.
Yep, actually.
I imagine that's what happened when someone at another one of the producers was like, no, you can't actually do that because that's dumb, and she just had one of those fits, and that's why she put it in there.
Yeah, she was like, oh.
It was personal inspiration for writing that back. Got it.
Yeah.
So cool. Meanwhile, so Donna has done some things. I don't even care.
What's she doing? What did she do this entire episode?
She did some things that resulted in the TARDIS coming back to Earth somehow.
Why did it get stolen? What's so dumb? Why did it get stolen in the first place? And it's just coming back to Earth like a couple of minutes later. I hate you so much, Helen Raynor. I physically hate you.
Okay, yep. And so that's going on. And the Sontarans are still shooting up the place. Gas is going on. It's all going down. Steel bullets now instead of whatever. And turns out Doctor knew the whole time Martha was a clone. So again, why did you have her as a clone then? If whatever. Okay.
Oh my god, just brainwash her. It would have had the same outcome. You're not Martha, and then he would have like contacted her or something, and she would be like, Doctor, there's some monsters, aliens. He's like, I know, you idiot, you dumb character right now. You're not even Martha anymore.
And then this clone Martha goes, it's clone feed is what the gas is. And the Doctor's like, shut up, that's dumb. Well, that's what he should have said. Then they go back off to Radigan's place to, I don't know, I suppose.
Is he called Radigan the Brown?
I suppose they decided they need to move the plot along somehow. So they go there. And Radigan's still having a bit of a sulk out. And then, so they have a chinwag with him. And they go, yo, we need to sort this out. And the Doctor does some sciencey words and does some sciencey throwing random bits and pieces together, which is
the atmosphere on fire.
He actually sets the atmosphere on fire, like a fireball literally encompasses the Earth. And I'm just sitting there watching. Okay, so life on Earth is destroyed. Cool.
Yeah.
Someone felt really proud of that graphic too.
Yeah. They were like, yeah.
They kept showing it.
Yeah.
They just kept doing it, even though it was so bad. They were like, yeah, I did that. Yeah.
It's just like how many things imagine if there was a plane in the sky at that moment that just got annihilated.
just like mountains covered in fauna, like just anything just burned.
Just massive rivers going down mountains because all the ice melted off them.
and then once it's cleared, there's clouds. Why? it would have
oh yes
dismantled all of that.
Yeah. Nah,
yeah.
But, you just had Tina go, oh yes, and then it's fine.
Yep. And then sometimes like, our dumb Helen Raynor plan didn't work, and the lieutenant sometimes goes, should we just do what we actually do and just absolutely run our amazing brute force through this planet?
Why did they do it in the first place?
Let's just escape, bruv. Let's just toddle back to our ship instead.
They very clearly were completely alright with just going down there, killing every human that lives, and then doing this, right?
Yeah, they're a warfaring race.
Yeah, that's what they do. They kill, It was what they're designed to do, to fight wars. And they consistently say it over and over again. Oh, we like fighting. We're fighting. And why are you doing this sneaky stuff? What's the point here?
Pretty much.
Helen Raynor.
Yeah, it's so good.
They call it Helen Raynor disease.
The Doctor teleports up to the ship as well and goes, yo, I've got this device thing that I've rigged to blow us all up. And the Sontarans just like, so. And it was like, no, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And sometimes like, you claimed to a 4-day race before. You should know that's not a threat that will work. And he's like, I'm going to do it. And then out of nowhere, with almost no build-up, Radigan teleports into his place and pushes the button for him. And sometimes shit blows up. And the Doctor's back on Earth. And everyone's just kind of celebrating. Then the Colonel, not Spenton or Brigadier, and the other, I don't even know what rank she is. I don't even care. But they share a kiss for some reason. And that was dumb. And then Martha saying goodbye in the TARDIS, which I'm just like, you know what happens when you're in the TARDIS. If you don't want to travel with the Doctor, you don't go in the TARDIS. But it's like, oh, I'm in the TARDIS, and oh no, we're traveling now. Oh boy, let's go to the next story. Ah.
Well, okay, so let's have a corridor about this two-parter.
Yeah.
Do any of you guys even care?
I do.
Okay, let's go.
I'm filled with enough seething rage at the moment to care. So, this is a unit episode. So, and it's the first one in ages, right?
Yeah.
Why wasn't any of the unit people there? Why? Just why? You know, there's no excuse for that. There's every single one of them is still alive at this point, right? And some of them won't be alive shortly.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you just have a cameo at least? You had the perfect excuse for it as well. And they're like, we need a car that doesn't have Atmos in it. Bessie, you know?
Yeah.
Even just having Bessie show up would have been enough, you know? Like, that would have been enough for me, really. It really would have if just some they'd set up that there was a car collector nearby, and when Ross went off to find a car, he found Bessie, or like the same model.
Oh, that is so cool.
Yeah, and the Doctor would have been like, hello, you. Like, come on. Like, that just would have been enough. Admittedly, now that I'm here to completely correct it, that's obviously not enough for me. But it would have been enough for the episode at large. But really, the commander should have been either the Brigadier or just Benton, who's risen the ranks and is now in charge. You know, like that would have been fantastic.
Yeah, because then the butting of heads could have been like, I'm not, just a normal sergeant anymore, and that could have been like,
because it doesn't even need to be a butting of heads, you know?
Yeah, exactly. It could have been just Benton going, I completely agree with you. Like,
yeah, exactly. Because like the nuking was never going to work. And like obviously you could have even done a thing like the higher ups at unit were like, hey, can you nuke the spaceship? And Benton was like, Doctor, how do you feel about it? And Doctor was like, no. And he's like, sweet, no, I'm not gonna do it. Like,
I'm not gonna do it.
That would have been enough, like the higher ups are the ones that were trying to get it done. That would have been enough of a thing. You didn't need to do the clone Martha crap. But then I thought even harder about it. I'm like, what could it really do for this sort of stuff? Well, we got Atmos, which is meant to be like this like carbon cleaning thing, right? Like a big deal where it completely eliminates CO2 from the vehicle. And that sounds like a really good like eco-friendly thing. Who's a companion that really likes eco-friendly things? Who was there during the unit era? Joe Grant.
Oh yes.
Man. What would have been amazing is if Joe had been the one who had pushed for them to get Atmos in all their unit vehicles. Joe had been like spearheading this entire eco-terrorist thing that's going on here, and then had a completely different character arc for her where she learns to look the gift horse in the mouth when she realizes it's the Sontarans who had been doing this, or probably not the Sontarans. I'd get rid of them completely, actually. Just some other alien race.
Some other alien race.
Because they're not really necessary. Or just straight up have some...
the Ice Warriors? They need the world to be terraformed to survive.
Yeah, they could work as well.
Done.
They're a lot less like that sort of way. I mean, there's plenty of other alien races that need a different atmosphere, Just any of them could have been put in the catalyst for this.
The macro trying to find a gas world so that they will inevitably become the monsters.
There it is.
Yeah.
And then just have a completely different Sontaran episode where you've got one or two Sontarans do the same thing again, where the threat is that they will show up and kill everybody, because that's what they do. It's like they combined two different stories together to make this, and that's why the Sontarans don't make any sense. But yeah, just this could have been a fantastic just little look back at what unit was before, just a casual cameo, because they're not going to they definitely don't plan on doing any more unit stuff. And it could have been a nice little like filter into what's going to happen at the end of this season, where like the bombs all over the planet and blah 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 crap. Yeah. They could have used that to like give information about that, in this sort of fashion. Like that would have been way better than what we end up with. It's just these two episodes could have been so much more, and it's really just Helen Reynolds' fault, really. There's no if or buts about it. She wrote a terrible episode, and it shows, basically. And I don't know why anyone would have thought to give her two whole episodes.
Yeah, because she had 2 whole episodes last time, and she got lambasted for the Dalek 2-parter. Because it sucked.
Exactly. So yeah.
What a waste of money that 2-parter was. To make it look like 1930s America.
This party was.
Yeah. At least I could just film it in London this time. The Late Crow, any thoughts on this 2-shatter?
I mean, I did have a list, but it's just everything that's on this list can just be Helen Rayner's fault, Helen Rayner's fault, Helen Rayner's fault. Oh no, there's a couple of director's faults as well, but that's also a given. I think we've all pointed out the fact that the director wasn't competent on this one.
Yeah, if Freeman Edgerman was just told, hey, could you just tone down that thing you're doing? What do you mean acting? Yeah, I need you to just tone that way down. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
And it really shows later as well with the fact that the doctor, that Tennant literally ad-libs some of this.
Yeah.
You know?
Because no one cared.
Yeah, because the director just didn't care, and the doctor the Tennant just tried his best, you know, like that's what he always seems to do. Is best. He does.
I
He
feel
does
so
his
bad
best,
for
but-
Tennant.
And exactly, it's so sad for him, but
Because he's
like that-
fantastic at Big
yeah.
Finish.
exactly. There's this bit where he the bit where he talks at the Sontaran warrior, telling them about all the stuff about the Sontarans, and it's almost like David Tennant knew more about the Sontarans than Helen.
He probably did.
Yeah, he probably did. Because he's a
he
huge
just
Doctor Who
ad-libbed
nerd.
at them. Exactly. So it's really disrespectful, honestly, that they let her do this.
Yeah.
Yep. And there's also, can we answer this question? Since when were the Sontarans sexist?
Well, they don't have a gender.
Yeah.
That was the thing that was really pissing me off. They're like, words are the weapons of females. And I'm just like, what?
Yeah.
You
So
did
haven't
well
had-
for a female.
Yeah, Helen Rayner was
you
like,
haven't
oh,
had females.
they're,
You haven't had females in your race
Yeah.
for generations.
exactly. You don't even have men in your race. You guys are genderless. You idiots. You're
Now that you're
Namekians.
clones. Now that
Yeah.
you are clones, you don't have this requirement. So why?
Yeah.
Why would you have that at all?
It's so
You
dumb.
Yep.
you can feel like that against like lesser races, and that's what really should have been the word there. is
Yeah.
Every time that instead of saying
Human.
female, they should have said lesser races or
Yeah.
humans. Why? Why
Yeah.
this? Helen Rayner, that's why.
Because remember Commander Lynx and the Time Warrior? He was like, I can't even tell you apart.
Exactly. He
he doesn't
couldn't even
care.
tell males and females apart because he doesn't have them.
Oh, Lynx was such a better Sontaran than all the ones in this episode combined. Because he
Or
was a
that
Sontaran.
Well, that Sontaran, the Sontarans we encountered in, what was it, Master of the Daleks? And it's just like, how do you tell each other apart? We ask and say the same of humans.
Oh, yeah. Because, yeah, oh, yeah. And that was played by Dan Starkey as well, who was in this story. Poor
Yep.
Dan Starkey. Here's the thing that I found with Sontarans is New Who just doesn't get them.
No, they really don't.
There's a lot that New Who don't get.
Yeah, because Strax is like the butt of the joke character, and I'm just like, they're a brutal, murderous species. What?
Like they're like the Doctor Tennant says it best in his ad-lib. It's like they're literally in a consistent war for hundreds of thousands of years with the Routons. You're probably telling them a thing or two. He's literally telling them a thing or two about what there's actually going on here, and during that they've perfected warfare and all that sort of stuff, and they've literally invaded Gallifrey before.
Yeah, they've literally invaded Gallifrey. I mean,
if
like,
there
4
was-
let
if
them
there was
do it,
gonna be a
but-
time war. If there was going to be a time war, it really could have been the Sontarans as well. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
it could have been them. So, to just have them just randomly be like showing up and trying to use cloning stuff on Earth. No. That makes no sense
That's
whatsoever.
pretty dumb.
The whole, like, is the war going bad for you? Like, no, it's not, actually. It's never been going bad for us.
Yeah, because we're
fine.
clones.
We're clones, you know?
Yeah, we have unlimited soldiers. Are you
Yeah.
are you an idiot? Oh man, and like the thing is like the Sontarans are like, even though they're ruthless for the universe, they're sort of a net positive because the Routons are a vicious parasite.
Exactly. Their war is mutual. They are
Yeah.
both terrible things. But that's just it, you know. Like the whole thing about them is that they're meant to be a force more
Yeah.
than an actual like a proper like agitator of the story. And that's what's always been the case, you know. With the first Sontaran episode, he was trying to call Sontarans down to take over the world or whatever, and you know, that sort of stuff.
I remember when Sarah Jane, a strong female character, was actually the one that was helping destroy their plan.
Yeah.
Oh
She
man.
was. But
No,
yeah,
but sorry, classic Who was sex. I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, but yeah, and just the whole thing about the fact that the Sontarans as a race and just them showing up in general was a big enough threat. You know, that's all you need. You don't need to have this random secret squirrel stuff happening in the background. It should have just been one Sontaran being the threat. That's enough because they are scary.
Yeah.
You know? That's the idea behind them. That they have extremely superior weapons, can't be killed by standard Earth weapons, which also is a part of it. As soon as they get steel lined bullets, they're able to shoot down Sontarans. No, Sontarans are covered in body armor that would be impenetrable to bullets.
Just one day I will just
Exactly.
fight a being that's actually not immune to bullets.
You know, it's just
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
there were a couple of moments in this that made me laugh out loud because it was so bad on almost a directing level as well.
Yeah.
Like, there's a moment where Donna comes in and she goes, "I've been looking at the office stuff and no one takes sick leave days or whatever and all that carry on." And she shows an empty folder. She like opens it up, shows everyone in the room, look, it's empty. But yet the colonel, not Benton nor the brigadier, takes off for a look at it anyway.
Yeah, like, show me how empty this is. My God, it's so empty.
And again with Colonel, not Benton or the brigadier, in the Poison Sky, about 10 minutes in, he finally calls a code red, right?
Yeah.
10 minutes later, he calls a code red again. It's like, no, you've already called it. It's fine. You don't need to do it again.
Guys, we need 2 code reds.
You got a code red, and then you go code red again.
Yeah.
Code red times 2.
Yeah. Code red times 2. He used the Kyle Ken. We get it now. He did it. Red power aura times 2. Genius. Well done, Helen Raynor. Huge Dragon Ball
fan. And then the dumb countdown on the screen when they
I
finally
hate
thought
countdowns in New Who. It's so cheesy.
And then not only was it on the screen, they had this that lady calling it out, and it's like, but it's on the screen, everyone can see it. Why are you calling it out?
They make fun of that in is it Police Squad? Yeah, and Naked Gun. There's like this woman and she's like smoking and she's like calling out the countdown number.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's so good. 10. 9. It's like there's a big counter all over the place. Like, why is she even doing it? It's so good. But I don't know. This story is just a disaster. And how to get 2 parts? Surely you would have read it and gone like, Helen, I know you're my best friend, because she actually is Russell T Davies, one of his closest friends.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't put this on the screen because it's awful. And you remember when we lost heaps of money because you made that shitty Dalek 2-parter nobody liked? You're doing that again. And she's like, I won't release it. But instead what they said is, like, this is so good, we're going to give you another 2-parter. And she was like, but my story's already bare bones. You need to stretch it, make it fit over 2 parts. And she's like, I don't know about that, Russell. He's like, you'll be fine, Helen. Also, you need to make the Sontarans sexist, because the whole reason about them being like fully sexist people is because we both hate the military, I guess. And that's it. That's what happened. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah. So that was that 2-parter. Now let's do the Doctor's Daughter. It was possibly worse. So guys, we're gonna move on to part B. Fine. Okay, fine. Okay.
I don't think it was worse, actually. I think the thing is about the Doctor's Daughter is that it has something that it could be good for. It could have been good.
It could have been.
Yeah, it's good for springboarding a decent Big Finish series. That's
there
what
we
it's
go.
good for.
Thanks. Thank you. So this story basically is Martha gets separated from the Doctor, and Martha's all like, hey, I'm gonna have a good story arc, and she goes through all these story beats with these fish people, and that's the best part of this episode. There's a scene where she's like, oh, it's really dumb though. She's like, oh, this is radiation, but if I'm not outside too long, I'll be fine. No, you won't. That's not how radiation works. But she's all like, oh, no, I'll go. And then she has this like,
oh, that's what she meant by unit pushed it through. They didn't actually test it.
Here's your doctor. I was like, that's not how that works. The military won't just push it through, because they need like actual professionals so that people don't end up dead. That's the whole fucking point. Anyway, she's all like, has this moment, and then this fish person she's with dies, and I know it's been like literally 10 years since this episode aired, but fuck that sad. She loses their Heth dying, and you're like, oh, don't worry, it's just he could just swim out, and then you hear his like the thing that his breathing apparatus crush, and oh, he's dead. There's no coming back from that. So I still find that scene really sad, because like she had this friend fish guy.
He was a cool guy.
Yeah.
And then he just dies.
And then he just dies, and I was like,
Big Finish episode.
Yeah, exactly. No! Big Finish need to stop killing cool characters. Anyway. So they were like, oh, okay, cool. But what was actually meant to be happening, it's this episode's called The Doctor's Daughter. They clone the Doctor, but like in a way where he's the mum and the dad, which totally works with his genealogy as well. And then he's like, cool. And then she comes out and she's like, hello, Dad. And I hate
Moffat calling the Doctor Dad.
Yeah, but
uses the shit.
The thing that annoys me is I hate when they press out an adult clone. I've always hated that in science fiction. It's too far gone. And I know it's an opinion thing. I'm not saying everybody should agree with me, but I always hated that. I've always hated they just get pressed in there an adult now. No. I like how in Star Wars, and I'm going to get lambasted for this because it's the prequel era, but they have advanced aging on the clones. Yep. However, they still have to grow up.
Yeah.
And I believe that way more than coming out an adult.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is that, like, okay, so for clones, effectively what you're doing is just birthing another human being, but using the same genetic material. That's what clones are. We've done the same thing with sheep, and some other animals.
Which again, that sheep still had to grow up.
Yeah, it still had to grow up, and its genetic material was aged already, so it had a shorter lifespan than its actual proper clone. The thing is that once we perfect cloning, and I mean like proper perfect it, we will be able to not only regenerate that genetic material so that it doesn't have the age on it and lives a normal human life, but we could, in theory, also force it to grow faster, right?
Yeah, like in Star Wars.
Yeah, like in Star Wars, but we could also implant it into something that grows instantaneously quick, like super fast into an adult. Like we would be able to do that. It would be perfectly capable for us to do that. But obviously there would be significant drawbacks to that.
Yeah.
Like that person never actually having a childhood. And that's what they kind of bring up as well.
Yeah, because they download history and learning and faculties into their mind.
So her
I just feel like the whole process was too fast.
It does seem like it is too fast, but at the same time, they have a nanobiotic cloud that is capable of terraforming an entire planet. So I kind of feel like they are extremely far in the future.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. Yeah, and they've got better cloning tech than the Sontarans.
Yeah.
So
that's
a race
that's
built
problem.
on cloning.
That's another Helen Reno problem.
Yeah.
Because absolutely the Sontarans had a way better method of cloning than that. And I do
also, why did the Sontarans melt when they died? When Sontarans die, they melt.
Yeah, because they're clones.
And I'm just like, why are they melting when Dan Starkey's like, glorious? And I was like, this ain't bloody Spartans, you idiot.
Yeah.
They're Sontarans, let them melt. Oh, no, it's too scary for the kids. Shut up, Helen Raynor, you idiot. You fucking nincompoop. Anyway. The doctor's daughter comes out and she's like, oh, I'm the doctor's daughter. And then the doctor's like, you're not my daughter. And I'm like, hey, bro, you're a scientist? She's your daughter. Yep. You were the mum and the dad. She is your daughter, you idiot. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot about that. But that doesn't happen until like nearly halfway through the story. He's like, oh, that's right. I'm the mum and the dad. That means she is my daughter. So, and then that happens. And then Donna's like, we're going to call her Jenny. And then Jenny's like, oh, what do you mean? And you don't like soldiers? And he's like, oh, I hate soldiers. And then he's like, oh, hang on a second. I used to be a soldier too. And I was really good at it.
And I had lots of friends who were soldiers, like Benton.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know why I'm being such an idiot. And she's like, don't worry. It gets way worse when you become the 12th Doctor for some reason. And he's like, wait, what? You mean when I'm the Valiard? Nah, what's a Valiard? Oh, that's what who says. So, yeah. And so he's all like, nah, you're not my daughter. And she's like, but I am though. And then he's like, oh, look, you are my daughter. And she does like triple somersaults and shit over lasers. And Donna's like, I bet you couldn't do that. I'm like, Donna, actually, to be honest, I think he could because he's a highly functioning super alien. Yeah. But
maybe not in this 3 incarnation.
No, I could
3.
Yeah, 3 could have done it. And he would have done it whilst wearing his cape. How his cape didn't land on the lasers, we'll never know.
And he would have had a drink waiting for him.
No, he would have been holding a glass.
Oh, I love that. In Day of the Daleks, when he manages to not spill a drop of that wine while he beats the shit out of that soldier guy. And he's like, yeah, I'm the 3rd Doctor, so shut up. That's so cool. So anyway, and then she's all like, man, I'm your kid. And he's like, sure are, kiddo. Get it? And then they get to the end of the story and they're all like, hey, I'm going to smash this thing and it's going to start terraforming the planet. What? And so that happens. And he's like, look, it's terraforming. And did it grow a sun? What happened? Is that what happened? Did it grow a sun?
No, it cleared out the clouds.
Oh, shut up. That's somehow worse. So anyway, and then she's like, and then the old guy who's like, even though this war's only been going for 7 days, I'm old? What?
Yeah, I'm guessing that whatever they do to cause the
instant aging
has affected him, so that he grew way older, way quicker as well.
I see.
Or that there's like a setting that they do when they put their hand in that they can make it grow to be an old man. Yeah. I don't know why he would do that. That sounds like a terrible thing, but maybe his dad was an asshole.
Yeah, there we go. His mum dad was an asshole.
His mum dad was an asshole.
Yeah. So anyway, his mum dad
made him grow up, made him come out of the generation pod really old.
Yeah. So he's like, oh, our history tells us. And I was like, man, what a dumb databank. And if you guys are so far in the future, why isn't there a cool AI telling you actually what happened?
Yeah,
that could have been a way interesting story where the AI created the war.
Yeah.
Oh, far out. And the source is like this fake god. Wait, isn't that the mind of evil? No. Face of evil? It's the face of evil. That's a way better story than this. But anyway, she goes, no, mum, dad, and jumps in front of the doctor and gets shot. And my favorite directing bloop is she puts her hand up before being shot.
Yeah.
and then she's on the ground, and there's no blood. I'm like, she just got shot. And then
she's a Gallifreyan.
Yeah, no, but even later on, where's the bullet hole in her shirt, guys? Does anybody want to tell me that? She repeated that too. So she's all like, oh, hey, I messed up. Remember when 5 died and his shit all got cut up? I don't remember his clothes getting regenerated then. But anyway, and the doctor's like, what if we just wait? And I'm like, yeah, what if you just wait? Because freshly grown bodies of a Time Lord have a 15-hour invincibility period.
Yeah.
Which you know, because you've been shot at point blank with a shotgun as the 3rd Doctor, and you got your arm cut off as the 10th Doctor, which you currently are. And he's like, oh no, oh, we can't wait. And then they were like, ha, ha. And then he picks up the gun, he's like, the man who never would. And then he pulls the trigger like a straight thug. That's not what happened. But I kind of wish it was. I really wanted to.
Really should.
I was like, just pull the trigger. And then Donna could have been like, I don't want to travel with you anymore. And Ten's all like, fair call.
Like, you would have done the same thing, Donna. And she would have been like, yeah.
Yeah, fair.
Right.
Yeah, well, somebody, yeah, exactly. Yeah, yo, let's go.
And then after all this time has passed, Jenny just wakes up and she's just like, I'm actually okay, guys.
Yeah.
And the Doctor's like, I just killed this guy.
Yeah, I just killed this guy. Oh, well, sweet, let's go. And then Martha's like, I'm here too, guys. Why, though? So, yeah, they don't wait around for Jenny, even though 15-hour immortality period, which 10 has told us the audience is a thing, and we know from 3 is a thing.
Oh,
he could even, healing coma. Oh my god, she was in a healing coma.
She was in a healing coma.
It's so annoying. It's so annoying.
And just like the things that like, we'll give her a good burial. And he would have been like, no, she's got Gallifreyan blood. There's no way I can let you have her.
Yeah, because he had to burn the master, remember? I have to burn the master because his body is a fucking rare resource. It's so dumb. So they just leave Jenny. I was like, why? Why create a character? This frustrates me because the Doctor losing his family is a big deal, right? He fought a whole goddamn war and lost everyone he ever loved. Gone, right? Susan, R.I.P. Susan. And like everything, right? So he would have been all like, oh, I'm so shitty about having to be a dad again. I love that Donna handled him being a parent way easier because she's like, hang on, he's a crazy alien guy. Of course he's been a dad before. So instead of Rose going, I can't believe he used to be a dad. Dude, I'm 900, you idiot. Anyway, he's like, oh man, cool. I got a daughter now. And they could have just been friends. Why introduce this character and do nothing with it? I hate this so much. Why create her? It is idiotic to create a new family member of the Doctor and do nothing with it. So anybody else got anything to say about the Doctor's daughter before we wrap up part A, the worst part?
That's pretty much it, really.
Yeah, just don't watch it. Listen to the Big Finish story instead. Wait.
Yeah, but that's really it about the Doctor's daughter is that if they had actually like planned this properly and, you know, maybe done a spin-off instead of Torchwood that was just about the Doctor's daughter instead. Or even just had her come back. Just had her be a companion now.
Yeah.
Just why? Why couldn't she have just been a companion? I don't understand.
Man, I just don't get it.
Been a companion, but anyway.
Wolf is a companion.
I know about like the moment.
Oh right.
Like the end of Poison Sky, where he's like just you go out there and bring some stuff back for me. Why doesn't she go? You could come too, Gramps. Like.
Yeah.
Like the Doctor's had more people on. He's got a big ass spaceship.
Yeah. He's got a literal, almost infinite spaceship. So it's pretty dumb.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the Doctor's daughter is there is a good story underneath a lot of garbage.
Yeah.
In there.
Martha has the best part of this whole story.
Yeah. Martha's Hoth thing that she's going on is really interesting. The fact that she's able to understand they're saying because of the translation matrix, but the bubbles are in the way of us understanding it is really and it could have been explained so much better. But just the whole like the war that's been going on for 7 days, that stuff. It's a really nice short story that could have been really awesome. But then randomly there's this Doctor's daughter thing in there that's sort of tacked on, and
it's
then it doesn't go anywhere. You know, it's like, why? What was the point of this? You could have just not had her be a big deal in it, or even like had it be Martha's kid. That could have been really interesting.
Oh yeah,
it's like, Doctor, you've given me a kid randomly. Just like, I go on an adventure and I never expected to have a kid planted on me.
Yeah,
like an adult kid just given to a human character. That would have been hilarious.
Yeah.
But having it given to the Doctor, it's just really depressing. You know? And then just dead at the end as well. Like, no, that's not good arc. That's not a good
and they didn't have the guts to keep her dead either.
Exactly.
That's so...
If she was gonna die, she should have just been dead. You know, and she shouldn't have just. If she was gonna be around at all, she should have had a better arc. This should have been the two-parter.
Absolutely, I absolutely agree. And what could have been the case is the Source is an evil AI, and she's playing war games.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So yeah, it's just really, it's just pathetic. It's just pathetic. There's 3 episodes. Oh, it's 4 episodes back to back because I've got the stupid unicorn and the wasp next week.
Yes,
Oh man, is Midnight the one after that? Please say Midnight's after that.
Silence in the Library.
No.
Because that's a two-parter, do we have to do the other one as
and
well?
Forest is the Dead.
Yeah.
So Unicorn of the Wasp, Silence in the Library, and Forest. The thing is that Silence in the Library isn't a god-awful.
No, I actually like the library episodes. And I think when that lady says ice cream is actually really spooky because it's her brain deteriorating. Like an echo of her mind. Yeah, it's actually fantastic. It's just like I really want Midnight because it's my favorite episode of all of Tennant's run, and I just want it right now. I love it.
Well, it's not next week, the week after.
Oh, okay. Anyway,
And then we also get Turn Left as well.
oh, bro.
So we get Midnight and Turn Left at the same time. There you go.
There we go.
So that shit.
Yeah, I love Turn Left. So yeah, guys, just they're not good. Just don't watch any of them, and they don't feed into the series.
I mean, you could watch The Doctor's Daughter and then listen to the unit stuff. I guess but that's really the only reason to do that. But the Sontaran stuff is absolutely pointless. There's no addition to that at all.
No, it's just not even. And
Like, it wasn't even like added up into the ending of the series, right? The Sontarans don't say anything about like a missing Sontaran cloning planet. That could have been a good reason for them to show.
Oh, that's why they come to Earth, right?
Exactly.
They're like, we found a place similar to Earth, but it's gone.
But they didn't even, they didn't even say anything about that.
No.
So, yeah.
Anyways, guys, we're gonna go into part B, where hopefully we've got something positive to say.
Oh, we will.
We'll see you guys there.